What's up, guys? It's your boy Matt Pack 420 here, coming at you with a new one. And today, well, I was actually going to do a review of The Matrix Resurrections, but then I sat and watched The Matrix Resurrections, and after slogging through that miserable movie, I realized it's not even worth my time critiquing it. So instead, I'm just gonna shit all over it. Now, not only is this movie a complete box office bomb, but its streaming numbers are are hilariously sad because it is not even getting the numbers on HBO Max, which is where I watched it. I didn't need to sail the high seas because apparently it was the most pirated movie of the week. So not only do people not want to pay money to see this in theaters, they don't even want to pay HBO Max to watch this damn thing. That's how pathetic this movie is. And oh boy, is this movie pathetic. Oh my god. You know, if I hear the word meta one more fucking time, I'm gonna lose it. No, this movie does not take anything seriously. Okay? Not at all. This movie almost feels like it shits on its own legacy, right? Because you get references to Warner Brothers making them make a fourth Matrix, regardless of the main cast or directors coming back within the movie. Like, the movie's so dumb. Look, we got Neo has been making a video game called The Matrix, and he has just finished the third Matrix game, and it's almost implying like, yeah, this stuff happened, but only in a video game. This is the real Matrix, and proceeds to shit on the legacy of the Matrix from there on out. The movie is full of member berries that don't actually, work out. It's like, hey, you remember when Agent Smith punched the pillar and went all slow and crazy like? You remember that? We're gonna do it again, only lamer. Yeah, like the fight scenes were like recreated, only lamer. Hey, you remember when Neo stopped a bunch of bullets at the end of the first Matrix? We're gonna do that over again and again and again and again. Cause that's all he can do. Cause he can't fly anymore for reasons. Yeah, so he can't fly anymore. I guess he's got like some kind of like block in his head or whatever. He can't fly. I guess it's like in Spider-Man 2 where for some reason he couldn't shoot his webbing and he was losing his powers. I guess because Neo's having an existential crisis, but it makes sense in Spider-Man. It doesn't make sense here. This movie is a complete shit show from beginning to end. I mean, even the post credit scene with the cat is garbage, right? The cat tricks. Oh god, I hate this movie. You know, I knew it was bad news when only one of the Wachowski sisters came back. Because if you know, back in the day, the movie was directed by the Wachowski brothers, and now they're the Wachowski sisters. I don't know how that works. Do whatever you want, right? But ever since The Matrix, anything the Wachowskis do has been sometimes it's yeah, sometimes it's just very ugh. It's very meh. Everything they've done since the Matrix is meh. Hell, everything since the first Matrix was you could consider meh. Look, I like Matrix Reloaded, but the reason Matrix Reloaded to me ends up falling flat is because there's so many questions and so many like loose ends that never get tied up in the third Matrix movie. Like it's just like like that. The second Matrix is it. After viewing these movies over and over and over and over again, like I have, um, the third one the third one feels like the last Skywalker of the Matrix movies. It exists only to try and answer and retcon things that you didn't have answers for in the second one, because I feel like you didn't think you were going to get a second one, and you did, and you had nowhere to go in the story. So, truth be told, the Wachowskis blew their load on the first Matrix, and everything since then, including Matrix Reloaded, Matrix Resolutions, uh, or Revolutions, Matrix, like anything they've done after that, any movie, what is it, Jupiter Ascending, everything they've done after that sucks. I'm sorry, and they've got their stands out there, but holy hell, the Wachowskis are some of the most overrated directing duo that has ever existed in Hollywood. I'm sorry, they are. So Lana Wachowski comes back because Warner Brothers literally was going to do this with or without her. So you might as well come back and shit on your own legacy so that hopefully nothing else ever gets made. I think that's why this movie got made the way it got made. Speaking of Spider-Man not being a complete failure, This movie is about to make $1 billion in your COVID pandemic era, which is pretty much crushing the narrative about people being afraid of the coof and being afraid of going out to theaters. And, oh, West Side Story didn't do good because, people were afraid of the pandemic. No, it didn't do good because it's woke garbage trash and a remake of a beloved film from, yesteryear. We're tired of remakes and we're tired of reboots that suck. Okay? Okay, look, I'm not one of these people that's going to shit on every single remake and reboot because sometimes a remake can be really good. Okay? The Fugitive, for example, back in the day, that 90s remake. Okay? Mission Impossible. Now, I know these became, or remakes of, or movies that are remade from TV shows, but that's beside the point. These stories are really cool. Now, a lot of people don't like Mission Impossible because it makes the main character from the TV series, who was a good guy, turns him into the bad guy. I get that, but the film series has then spawned out to a completely different deal on its own. So I mean, what are you gonna do? If it's good, people are gonna see it, and people like the Mission Impossible movies, even the last few, they do. So, and people like Spider-Man, which I find ironic that CNN is writing articles about how they're puzzled on why Spider-Man did so well at the box office, right? It's because number one, it's only in theaters. Number two, people love Spider-Man. Okay, and number three, it's not woke garbage. Okay, they even go out of their way to push all the wokeness aside in this MCU Spider-Man and reset Spider-Man. It's amazing. Like if you haven't seen it, basically at the end of the movie, they reset Spider-Man. He goes back to being anonymous, right? To the fact where his friends don't even know who the hell he is. Okay, and I wouldn't be surprised if they find a way to write MJ out and write Ned out, because the actor who plays Ned has actually lost a lot of weight. And I wouldn't be surprised if the next Spider-Man movie, he comes out and he's trying to woo this MJ, but she's totally in love with Ned, who's lost a lot of weight, and he's like really smart. And he looks really cute, and she's all in love with him. And there's the end of that. He lets her go and move on, and let's have him date a redhead or something like that. Let's make proper Spider-Man, right? This Flash Thompson's weird. I don't like this dude, right? He's some Asian little smart kid. I don't understand the casting around Tom Holland, right? Tom Holland, I think, is a decent Spider-Man, but all the casting choices and the way the MCU Spider-Man was around him, I just didn't like that much. But all that's gone now because they quite literally erased all that. So we'll see where this franchise go. But I'm seeing that they've greenlit a Spider-Man 4 with Sam Raimi and Tobey Maguire and Kirsten Dunst coming back, which I am so excited for if that happens. Like, see, you give the fans what they want. I'm fine with sequels and reboots and remakes and all that, right? If they don't fucking suck. All these sequels and reboots and remakes are all being all woke and they fucking suck. Look, my top 3 Spider-Man movies are still Spider-Man 2. I'm going to slot in Spider-Man No Way Home as number 2. And number 3 is Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. I love that damn Spider-Man movie. And that has a black Spider-Man as the main character. Now, a lot of people will say that all Miles Morales is tokenized Spider-Man. Okay, you're right. I still like the character. Um, but now we've got every single character being tokenized in one way or another, and it's kind of annoying. Okay, if you're gonna tokenize a character, at least make them interesting. At least make them good, right? I like Miles Morales. All right, maybe because he reminds me of a kid I knew. I know some Afro Latinos back in the day, but at the same time, I don't like what they've done to Captain Marvel. I remember reading Ms. Marvel back in the day. I remember reading that when she was cool, and now she sucks. One last thing before I leave here. I saw this earlier today, and it made me laugh my ass off. Because not only do people not want to pay to see garbage on HBO Max, but they want to rip off Disney too, and I am totally. Look, you do whatever you want. I'm not gonna tell you do or don't. All right, but it's not like I don't have a pirate ship over here too. But yes, Disney Plus was also the top pirated list of TV shows here. So here's the top 10 list. Like WandaVision was number one, Loki was number two, Witcher, from Netflix, and like I have Netflix and I've watched The Witcher. It's not as good as season one, and um, hmm. but yeah, Falcon and Winter Soldier, Hawkeye, What If, Foundation off Apple TV, Rick and Morty from Adult Swim, Arcane from Netflix, and Wheel of Time from Amazon. But that is magnificent. And again, Matrix Resurrections was the top pirated movie of the week. So that is hilarious. Look, I'll critique some of these shows. WandaVision, it doesn't get good until episode 4. And then it ends all right. Loki, I haven't really watched Loki that much. I watched like the first 2 episodes, and Falcon Winter Soldier, I again, and Hawkeye, I haven't really sat and watched. But people are willing to rip them off from Disney because they don't want to pay Disney any more money. So anyway, that's all I got for you guys today. If you like what you see, you like what you hear, go and like, share, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Gab Minds, all those in the description. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Deuces.